What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Cam ATL. Shout out to the DFS squad, man. I have not known what to do with myself since this All-Star break, honestly. Of course, I watched the All-Star stuff happen, like the lame, boring ass dunk contest. That was the most boring dunk contest I've ever seen. Like, why does the only way for you to get, I mean, you're doing an average ass dunk. The only special thing is you're jumping over people. How about some more original shit? Not one dunker tried to fucking bring it behind his back or do anything special. It was all pretty fucking usual. It was the same old shit we see every year, just different names. Aaron Gordon. I know he had a foot injury, so I'm sure that had to do with how whack he was. But he couldn't even get a dunk in. He could not even get a dunk in. Shout out to him for the idea, having the drone holding the ball, go over the goal, and then drop the ball, and then him go up for the dunk. But if you can't finish it, what is it for? The thing that really was annoying is that they were giving extra chances to people because they weren't even making their 3 attempts. Even when people wouldn't even make their dunk, there would be judges giving them 7s. How the fuck do you get a 7 when you don't even make it? In that case, I should join the contest and just fucking attempt a fucking dunk, probably get stuffed at the rim and still get a 7. Why not? I can say I joined a dunk contest and I actually got 7s across the board. Yeah, I was in the NBA dunk contest and I got a 35. Even though I got rim stuffed like a little bitch every single time I went up. Because I'm getting an inch off the ground. But anyways, man, yeah, it was whack. It was not fun. Shout out to Eric Gordon for getting that 3-point contest trophy. Another champion got brought down in that contest. Klay Thompson did not do too well. He struggled a lot too, and everybody was surprised. You could see the contestants on the side like, oh, whoa, whoa. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Klay Thompson? What the hell? So it ended up coming down to Kyrie and Eric Gordon, and Eric Gordon ended up edging him out. So shout out to Eric Gordon, man. He is a phenomenal shooter. Shout out to him. Okay? The Rising Star. The Rising Star game was a good-ass game. Jamal Murray put on a show with those three-pointers, man. Buddy Hield came out and put on a performance. If you watched my video, I told you guys, play that dude. He's got a fucking beautiful shot, and this is the type of game that he will excel in. And he did. On top of that, he was at home. So it was a great situation, man. It's been a great All-Star weekend so far. The All-Star game is tonight. Let's hope our fucking lineups crush it. So far, Buddy Hield and Saric have done very, very well. They did very well. So now all we need are our big guys, our big-name guys to show up, and we should be good to go. Now, one of the topics that I told everybody I would cover during this All-Star break was because we have no basketball to talk about. I will be making a video soon about just hyping people up for MLB because MLB season's coming up. We got a shit ton of games in the MLB season. Draftkings MLB DFS is really, really, really fun. I remember when I used to hate watching. I was one of those people who refused to watch baseball on TV. It was the most boring shit I could possibly imagine. Like, if I was in trouble, the perfect way to punish me would be making me watch a full MLB game. That's how much I hated it. But ever since DFS and I started doing MLB DFS a few years ago, I have loved it. I have loved MLB, man. I watch games I would never watch before. DFS is a savior of sports. Not a savior because these sports would keep going, but it brings more fans. People who usually wouldn't watch these games tune in because they've got players going. Same with MLB. I know a lot of people feel the same way as I do. And they don't, I love going to the games, but actually watching them on TV is just too boring for me, man. My brain starts going, I start thinking of other things to do other than watch this boring ass baseball on TV. But when I have players going, I don't even blink. And I love it, man. So MLB season's coming up. I'm super excited. Now, one of the things I told you guys I would cover are people's questions about my strategy when it comes to setting a lineup. What do I think about? What things do I take in mind? And I take in consideration in the sites I go to look up information, stuff like that. So I had some of my Twitter followers ask me questions so I could answer them on this video right now. Okay, guys? So here we go. I'm going to get right into the questions. We have a few questions. I'm going to go ahead and answer those. And then I am going to go ahead and just tell you guys other things too that weren't asked. Okay? So here we go, guys. First question from Bronco Nation 18, DFS squad member all day. What contest should I enter if I have just $10 to start for the newbies? That is a great question, and a lot of people ask the same thing, and if you're watching this video right now and you're new to Draftkings or new to daily sports period, if you're on FanDuel, whatever, or Yahoo, whatever, the best idea is to put money into the account, put half of, let's say you deposit $10, go ahead and put the $5 into a double up, which is a cash game, okay? Put it into a double up, and make the most balanced lineup you possibly can, okay? You don't want to take risks in these type of games, okay? You don't need to worry about percentage owned, nothing like that, guys. Join a double up, okay? And you will be surprised how a little bit of research, okay? A little bit of just knowledge, taking a little time out of your day, making sure your players are actually in, checking for injury updates, come time the game start, you'd be surprised how quickly you can get your bankroll up. That is the easiest, most effective way of getting your bankroll up when it comes to DFS. Now, before you jump into tourneys, that is my advice for you guys, for you new guys, so you can get the hang of things before you jump into a tourney. Okay, jumping into tourneys, you start doing more. Okay, you take more of risks. You try to you take percentage owned into consideration. All types of stuff. It does change the way you strategize, okay? Because you want that. In tourneys, you want that guy that's going to be 5% owned that ends up going crazy. And then the rest of your guys, because you spent so little on him, the rest of your guys were solid players that end up going for their 45 to 50 as they should, okay? So that's what I would, that's my answer to that question, Bronco Nation. Thank you for that question. It is a great question because I've had tons of people ask me that. I would definitely... And this is what I did. What you do is you put money in and you play double ups, get your bankroll up, okay? And then go ahead and take your shot in tourneys, all right? So that's the answer to that question, guys. Thank you so much, Bronco Nation. Next question. I'm just curious where you find data showing how good/bad teams are against certain positions. That is a good question, Shane. Okay? That is a good question. Now, even though you guys know how I feel about the Sharks, guys. These guys that put in fucking hundreds of lineups a night, pretty much making the probability of them winning very, very high and us losing very, very high as well. Okay? Like, these guys are putting, pretty much, these guys at Roto Grinders, which is one of the websites I would refer to you guys to. I don't do it because I'm so against these people that I won't pay them. When I first started out, I tried it out because they do have good tools on there. If you're new to Draftkings or you're new to daily fantasy at all, check out Roto Grinders. They have a membership or whatever. I forget how much it is a month, but it's worth it for new people just to try to get a hang of the things they might need to think about. And it'll make you look at things a different way. So I do respect Roto Grinders for that website. That is a great website for information, and it does help people. The problem is with me is I was using them at one point when I first started, okay? Once I got to the point where I was winning without them, I just went ahead and didn't have the membership anymore. There was no reason, okay? But I do refer it to new people. Now, the problem is these people who work for Roto Grinders and these type of people, those are the guys who go hundreds of lineups. So pretty much you're not using skill. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what you're telling all of us, pretty much you're taking our money for our memberships, giving us these tools when in all reality, you know we're not going to win because you are making so many lineups to the point where it's impossible. Now, which is another reason why I would definitely tell you guys that single entry contests are the best contests to enter. So you don't have to deal with these bullshit guys. So I definitely like those. I don't shy away though. I'm not the type of person who's gonna shy away. You guys know me. Okay? I will join a contest where somebody's going to have 300 lineups because guess what? I want to fuck you up with your 300 lineups. My plan is to make my 5 lineups and destroy your 300 because I'm better than you. Straight up, I'm better than you. DFS squad, that's what we are. Like, we really put our all into this shit and we love sports, period, and we love this shit. We love this shit. Okay, y'all are not taking your knowledge of the game and using it to succeed. You are using probability to your advantage. And that's just bullshit to me. So I don't use roto grinders, but I do have to answer that question by saying if you want the best data to show how good bad teams are, certain different type of things, how teams play at home, how they play again, how their history against certain teams are, stuff like that. All types of different fucking data, numbers and calculations and all types of bullshit. Roto Grinders would be the website that I would join for that. Other than that, there's other optimizers and stuff like that that can get you rolling. I don't use any of that stuff anymore, guys, because I've been doing this for a while. So pretty much what the optimizer can tell me is something I already know pretty much. So I've been doing this for so long that when it comes to the good, bad teams, I know every player on every team. I know which players are good defenders, which players are bad defenders. Okay? I know which players to take advantage of and which players not to test. Okay? I know which players light up in the fourth quarter and which players slow down second half or whatever. It's a whole bunch of different things. Which players are way better at home. There's just so many aspects to it, guys. Okay? That just comes with time. Don't rush it, okay? Just have fun. Every single time you set a lineup, you need to be setting that lineup to get first place. I never want to hear anybody setting a lineup because they just want to make a tiny bit of money. If you're in DFS just to make a couple dollars, what is that? Okay? What is that? All right? Every single time you make a lineup, you need to be, before you submit that lineup or before these games tip off, you need to know in your heart that, okay, this is the best lineup that I could create, and I know that, and I'm running it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going for the top spot. I'm not just going to barely make it. I'm going for the top spot. And that's how you do it. Shane Morrell, appreciate the question, bro. Great question. He is DFS squad for sure. I see him all over Twitter, man. Thank you for the question so much, bro. Now, okay, so this is from DK Yeet Squad DFS. He wants to know about my research methods and what you look into most, sites used, all that stuff, favorite contests and strategies depending on contests. And when I mean different contest strategies, I'm talking about single entry tourneys and regular GPPs, not cash versus GPP. Got you. Totally understand the question. Thank you, and I got you. Now, I just pretty much answered the research method things, okay? A lot of times, honestly, once you play for a certain amount of time, a lot of your knowledge is just in your head, okay? Other stuff, I like to use Roto World. Use also, guys, don't be ashamed to use Google, okay? Google is here for you to succeed, all right? Anything you ask Google, it'll find a way to answer you, all right? If you have a if you have a question about something, okay? If you have a question about anything, that you're not able to, that you don't have an app for or whatever, go ahead and just use Google if you need to. Type in Google what your question is and do it. Okay? Now, like I said, Roto Grinders is the #1, guys. Their shit, Basketball Monster, I love their shit too. I would definitely influence everybody to get the Roto Grinders app because it'll notify you at the top of your phone when injuries, up to date as injuries come in. So I love that. That's one thing I love about the Roto Grinders app, okay? I do not have a membership. That is free with Roto Grinders. They will notify you on injury updates, okay? Even though sometimes they'll update you a little late because they're trying to get a little edge, but hey, I'm going to let it slide. I'm just going to be cool. I'm not going to get aggressive. Now, my sites that I use, guys, Basketball Monster. I love Basketball Monster. Like I said, Roto World. I will pretty much type, if I have a question about a player or I want to make sure they're okay injury-wise. Some good Roto World will come out with some of the first news, okay? So pretty much type the name in Google and then put Roto World after their name, and it'll bring up their profile, open it up, and check out what it says, okay? So that is a great method as well, okay? Now, favorite contest strategies depending on, obviously, guys, okay? Now, like I said, if you're building your bankroll and you're just starting out, definitely do double ups, okay? Go ahead and do double ups. Make a very solid balanced lineup and run it in double ups. Get your bankroll up and then go into tourneys, okay? Because tourneys is where you're going to have to change your strategy a little bit. You're going to have to use people that you've barely ever heard of with good situations and stuff like that, okay? So you just got to treat it differently. It's just different, okay? Now, strategy single entry. Okay. For single entry contests, you got to realize that everybody in this contest is only getting one choice. All right, one lineup. That's it. They get to set that one lineup, which I love because you don't get those people flooding with a ton of fucking lineups, like I mentioned earlier. Okay? Now, with situations on the single entry lineups, I like to be different in those as well, okay? Like, I don't want to use the LeBron James. Like, I try to steer away from the obvious plays, okay? Like a LeBron James or something like that, okay? Of course, I'll do the stars, but I will pick the stars that I feel like might not be too highly owned. Now, a lot of times, depending on the size of the tournament, you would be surprised. Now, if it is a very, very large tournament and a whole bunch of people are in it, regardless of who you go, a lot of times obviously the LeBrons and the fucking Russell Westbrook and stuff like that are probably going to be 40 to 50% owned. A lot of people are going to love playing them. You don't really steer away from those guys. Okay, go the stars that you believe are not going to be high owned. But that's in everything though. Okay, when you're doing double ups, don't worry too much about that in double ups. Okay, in double ups, make the most balanced team you can. Don't stress about anything else and make it balanced, make it comfortable. So you put that lineup in and you honestly believe that it is the most solid all the way throughout that you could have possibly done. Now, in tournaments recently, as of a few, I'd say about 5-6 months, I have changed my strategy a little bit and it has definitely worked for me. Okay, what I like to do is I like to make it balanced, but yet tons of upside. Okay, I like to make it balanced, but yet tons of upside. So even my worst, my cheap players are people that I believe will get me 35 plus. You know what I'm saying? And then my stars obviously are going to go crazy as well. So I don't sit there and try to do too much anymore. That was my problem at first because you do want to go those players you don't know. But the problem is you don't want to go too crazy. You don't want to sit there and go a player that is only going to play 10 minutes trying to be different because it's not going to do anything for you. You're going to lose every time. So don't overdo it, guys. DK Yeet Squad DFS, thank you for the question, bro. I appreciate it so much. There you go, guys. There you go. I had to run through those questions real quick. Shout out to everybody who sent questions in, man. Shout out to everybody. Cedric Jones, shout out to you. Shane Morrell, shout out to you. Ben Warren, shout out to you, bro. Bronco Nation 18, shout out to you, man. Thank you, everybody, for the questions. I love just recording, talking to you guys right now. It feels like it's been years, but I am in here, and I'm just as hype as I was when All-Star Weekend started and there were no videos. I'm still hype. Like this video down below, man. Give it a thumbs up because I know you loved it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, man. We are lit over here and we're taking over DFS. The MLB videos will be coming in the next few days. I will start gearing up for MLB as we get to the second half of this NBA season. Okay? So let's get it. I appreciate everybody, man. Any questions I didn't answer, I might do a part 2 of this. So comment down below questions and stuff that I didn't get to touch on this time that you would love for me to answer and that you need to hear, that you need to get my advice on. All right, guys? Any other questions, you guys can hit me up at cam_ATL. You already know I answer immediately. I love talking to everybody. I'm very, very social with everybody, man. I have a great connection with my followers, so make sure you hit me up. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.